All right, let's dive right in. In this explainer, we're tackling something that's causing a seismic shift in how we all live and work. AI agents. And look, if you think AI has been a big deal so far, you really haven't seen anything yet. This is not just another tech upgrade. We're talking about a completely new way of getting things done. So let's start with this really powerful statement you're probably hearing everywhere. Agents are the new apps. This one idea, it just perfectly captures the huge scale of the change we're facing. We're not just talking about smarter chatbots here. We're talking about a future with millions, maybe even billions of specialized agents out there performing tasks for us. It's a fundamental shift in how we even think about software. So, to really get what an agent is, let's start with something we all know and use, right? A chatbot like ChatGPT. From there, we can build a really clear path from the AI of today to the agents of tomorrow. This right here, this is the core difference. Think of a standard AI, a large language model, as just the raw brain power. It's like a genius with a million ideas. It knows how to do something. But the AI agent, that's the doer. That's the one who actually rolls up its sleeves and turns all that intelligence into real world action. But this distinction immediately shows us the first big hurdle for a standard AI. If you go ask ChatGPT, hey, when's my next coffee chat? What's going to happen? It's going to fail. And why? Because it doesn't have access to your personal real-time data. It's totally passive, and its knowledge is limited to what it was trained on. So this brings us to level one on our path, the basic language model, or LLM. It's simple. You give it an input, and the LLM spits out an output based purely on its training data. It's amazing at generating text, but it's fundamentally stuck inside its own little box of pre-existing knowledge. And that builds to level two, the AI workflow. Now, this is where a human steps in and sets the rules. We could tell the LLM, hey, every single time I ask about a personal event, go check my Google Calendar first. And boom, now I can answer my coffee chat question. Pretty cool, right? But it's still just following a rigid predefined path. If I then ask about the weather for that day, it fails again because I only told it to check the calendar. And this is where we make the quantum leap. The move from a simple, rigid workflow to a true AI agent happens when we do one massive thing. We take the human out of the decision-making loop. So this is the most crucial point to understand. For an AI workflow to become a real agent, the human is replaced by the LLM as the decision maker. The agent doesn't just follow a script anymore. It decides the best path to achieve a goal, all on its own. So how does it decide? Well, the most common way to think about this is something called the REACT framework. It's a simple name for a really powerful idea. An agent has to first reason about the best approach, and then it has to act by using tools to actually execute that approach. Reason, react. Simple as that. And this is exactly what makes them so powerful. An agent starts by reasoning, thinking, what's the most efficient way to get this done? Then it acts, using tools like your calendar or a web browser. Next, and this is key, it observes the result of that action. And finally, it can iterate. It can literally critique its own work and repeat the whole process until the goal is met, all without a human ever stepping in. Okay, so we've covered the theory. Now let's talk about where this is having an impact right now, today. We are seeing an absolute explosion of use cases around AI voice agents, mainly because having automated intelligent phone calls, well, it just wasn't really possible until now. And the business impact is just mind-blowing. Businesses that are automating their call operations with these sophisticated AI voice agents are seeing up to a, get this, 90% reduction in their operational costs. Let that sink in. 90%. Every single minute an agent is on the phone is a minute a human isn't, and that creates an absolutely incredible ROI. And this isn't just for giant tech companies. The people getting the most value right now are everyday businesses. Think about a plumber who's busy on a job and can't answer the phone, or a restaurant that's getting swamped with calls during the dinner rush. For them, every single missed call is lost business. An AI agent that books appointments or answers basic questions, it's a total game changer. I mean, this is a massive leap forward. We've all been tortured by the old tech, those rigid IVR menus. Press 1 for sales. Ugh, Now we're moving to natural conversation, where an AI actually understands your intent. Instead of static scripts, we have adaptive AI that can adjust on the fly. And instead of that robotic text-to-speech, we have incredibly human-like voice climbing. So how does an AI actually hold a conversation that sounds and feels human? Let's take a quick peek under the hood at the stack of technologies that makes all this magic happen. It all works like this beautiful symphony of technologies. So when you speak, automatic speech recognition, or ASR, first turns your words into text. From there, natural language processing, NLP, figures out the intent behind those words. What do you actually want? Then, dialogue management acts kind of like the brain's short-term memory, keeping track of the conversation's context. Next, natural language generation constructs a smart response. And finally, text-to-speech, or TTS, converts that text back into natural-sounding audio. And all of this happens in a fraction of a second. It's incredible. Now, as exciting as all this is, it is really important to be realistic about where the technology is today. I mean, this isn't science fiction just yet, and there are still some very real challenges to overcome. I absolutely love this analogy because it frames the current state of AI agents. Think of them as a really eager intern. They don't have a ton of experience, but if you explain exactly what you want in simple step-by-step terms, they will get it done. You wouldn't ask an intern to own your entire marketing strategy, right? But you would absolutely ask them to handle a specific, well-defined task. And that intern analogy helps us understand the challenges we're still facing. Latency, you know, those awkward pauses in conversation, that's still a major hurdle. Transcription errors can definitely happen with background noise. Agents can sometimes get sidetracked down conversational rabbit holes, and they still aren't nearly as smooth as humans at handling interruption. These are all being solved for sure, but they are real limitations today. So the crucial point to take away from all this is this. Right now, AI agents are fantastic at task automation, not job. They can handle a specific repetitive part of a job incredibly well, like scheduling an appointment or answering FAQs. But they aren't ready to take over an entire complex job role, at least not yet. And that brings us to the end. The technology's here, it's getting better every single day, and it's already creating massive value. So I'm going to leave you with this question to think about. Looking at your own work, your own life, what's the first repetitive task you would hand off to your own personal AI agent? Thanks for tuning in.